This video covers everything you need to know for Year 7 system performance. I've put the links in the description below so you can skip to whatever bit that you need, and I've also put them at the side here. System performance means how quickly your computer system runs. Every single system has a performance, it's just a case of how quick that performance is. Computer systems are made up of input and output devices. Input devices allow the user to enter data, and they can be things like keyboards, mice and touchscreens. Output devices return the data from the computer system back to the user. They can be things like screens or monitors, printers or speakers. Primary memory is called primary because it communicates directly with the CPU. There are two types of primary memory. RAM, which stands for Random Access Memory, stores the instructions that are currently in use. So these are the instructions that the computer needs to carry out the fetch-execute cycle. ROM stands for Read Only Memory, and ROM stores the boot sequence. These are the instructions needed to start up the computer system in the first place. RAM memory is volatile. Volatile means that when the power is turned off, all of the instructions are deleted. So this is why if you're playing on your games console and you have a power cut and you've not saved, all the data is going to be lost because it was temporarily stored in the RAM memory. The instructions that your computer is carrying out, so this could be opening up an internet browser or playing some music, are also stored in RAM. CPU stands for Central Processing Unit. The CPU carries out the fetch-execute cycle. The fetch-execute cycle is made up of 4 key parts. The instructions are fetched from the RAM. The instructions are decoded. This means they're turned into a language that the computer can understand. The instructions are executed. This means carries out, and then the cycle starts again. The performance of your computer also depends on how quickly your CPU can carry out the fetch-execute cycle. There are 3 key parts to the CPU that really affect the performance of the computer. The clock speed is the number of fetch-execute cycles the CPU can do every second. CPUs are also made up of cores. Each core can do 1 fetch-execute cycle at a time. So the more cores your CPU has, the more fetch-execute cycles it's going to be able to carry out at the same time. The last thing to look out for is how much cache memory the CPU has. Cache memory stores frequently used instructions close to the CPU, and this makes it fast. So websites that you're going on all the time will be stored in cache memory, and they will load up faster. Secondary storage devices allow the files, data, operating system and programs to be saved. There are 4 main types of secondary storage. Optical, which is the correct way of saying CDs, DVDs and Blu-rays, magnetic hard disks, the cloud, which is online, and solid-state hard disks. Flash memory is solid-state memory but really small, so USB sticks and SD cards are flash memory. Each type of secondary storage has its advantages and disadvantages. So CDs can't hold a lot of data, but they are really cheap. Magnetic hard drives aren't portable because they've got moving parts, but they're cheap to buy and have a fairly large capacity, so that means you can save a lot of data on them. Solid-state hard drives, on the other hand, are really fast, whereas magnetic hard drives are quite slow. However, solid-state memory is really expensive, but it also makes it portable because it doesn't have any moving parts. The cloud is things like Google Drive and Dropbox. This is online, so the biggest disadvantage of it is you have to be connected to the internet in order for it to work. A small amount of cloud storage usually comes for free, but if you want more, you have to pay for it. Another big disadvantage comes with the fact it is online. As much as it's useful, because as long as you've got an internet connection, you can use it from any computer system, if you don't have an internet connection, you can't use it at all. So system performance is how quickly a computer system runs, and there are 3 things you can do in order to make sure your computer is running faster. The first thing is you can install more RAM. The second thing is you can upgrade the CPU. The third thing is you can swap from magnetic to solid-state hard drives. Now, as much as having a fast computer can be really useful, not everybody needs a fast computer. So it's really important that when you're choosing a computer, so that could be a mobile phone, a laptop or a desktop, that you're looking at the amount of RAM and the type of CPU that it has. There is no point in buying the fastest computer in the entire world if all you're planning on doing is going on social media and YouTube. On the other hand, if you do plan on playing games or using video or image editing software, you need a computer that has a quick enough performance that you can carry out all of these instructions that are being created. So it's really important that when you're looking to buy a computer, you consider the RAM and the CPU's, cores, clock speed and cache.